Well, it happened. Some people thought that Arizona's 4-0 start and number 9 overall ranking was too good to be true, and it turned out that Arizona's 5th game proved that to be correct. For DailyWildcat.com, I'm Tim Kosh here at Arizona Stadium, where the Wildcats fell to Oregon State 29-27 in one of the weirdest games they've had all year. For the last few weeks, Arizona's offense had struggled while its defense, ranked number 2 in the country coming into today, carried the weight for the team. But it was the defense today that struggled.
You know, a tough night in a lot of different ways when you look at the whole entirety of the game, statistically and just what I saw. I didn't think we competed particularly well in the secondary, and to give up almost 400 yards of passing is disturbing, and it's probably the most yards we've given up in a long time. Our coverage wasn't what it needed to be. We tried to pressure him, and then takes a guy out of coverage, and then we covered him, and I thought the quarterback pulling the ball down, I think 3 different times he pulled it down and ran for first down, so I thought he played an exceptional game in managing and not forcing the ball. I think he had one bad throw. He threw an interception, but besides that, I thought the quarterback just kind of beat us in a lot of different ways. They didn't beat their head against the wall running the ball. They wanted to throw it, and they threw it pretty much at will, and that's disappointing. To me, that we didn't cover better than we did tonight.
We'll bring in Mike Schmitz here from DailyWildcat.com. Mike, when the season started, Arizona's defense was considered to be the weak point. But in that defense, the secondary was considered to be the best part of it because people like Trevin Wade were coming back. But tonight, it was really the linebackers and the D-line that played well, while the secondary got beat in almost every fashion. What happened?
It was just sloppy play out there. Everyone was out of position. The D-line and the linebackers, like you said, got pressure. They got to Ryan Katz, but he made the plays he needed to and took advantage of Arizona's secondary being out of position. Stoops said they didn't play smart. They were very prepared, but they just didn't execute at all. They knew the schemes that Oregon State was going to bring. They knew exactly what they had to do, but they just weren't there. And Katz had an unbelievable game. 393 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, making throws off his back foot. I mean, he did everything out there, took advantage of their sloppy defense, and that was that.
Really was interesting to see Katz making just his 5th career start in his first year as a starter, dominate Arizona's secondary, and he really had them looking foolish. Whether it was man coverage or zone coverage, it was open everywhere. Here's defensive coordinator Greg Brown talking about the performance of the secondary.
The plays that Oregon State hit us on, it wasn't anything that was a surprise that our guys hadn't seen before. We kind of felt like we had a beat on them and practice stuff and rep stuff, but it wasn't to be that Oregon State just did a better job out to execute us than what we were able to do and took it to us.
Had you seen Katz look that good on film?
We really had a feeling that the guy, he's good and going to do nothing but continue to improve and be really good. Part of the deal is, first of all, he throws a nice ball. Mike Riley and Danny Langsdorff, they coach him up tremendously. They've got a great escape. But then Katz has got the ability to escape and run. And when you close the pocket around him and you put some pressure on that guy, he's got the ability to get out of trouble and run. That big guy can run.
Now we'll bring in Nicole Dempsey, also from DailyWildcat.com. Now, Nicole, offensively, the Cats weren't that bad. Nick Foles threw for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, but it was missed opportunities that did the Wildcats in. Why did that happen?
They just weren't able to take advantage of what was given to them. At the end of the first half, they had a missed field goal. Alex Zendejas also missed a PAT attempt, which would have, given them the opportunity to go for 2-point conversion when Keel Antolin did score the touchdown in the 4th quarter. Nick Foles also had a red zone interception, another one on the season. When it came down to it, they just couldn't get it done tonight.
While Nick Foles has been proficient in the second half, he's been pretty sloppy with the ball in the first. Like you mentioned, that interception in the red zone was a killer because points on the board that are missed are points that aren't there at the end of the game.
Well, during the bye week, I thought we went out there and we executed and we tried to get better. And I felt like we did, and we went into this week and I felt like we had good practices, and there's some stuff we just missed in games. This happens, and you don't want that to happen, but it does happen, and it will make our team stronger, and we're going to move forward and we're going to be all right.
your defense has been so good. Did you feel like tonight, like, gosh, we got to score some points, just the way things were happening with your defense?
I mean, we always have to score some points, and we have a good offense, but we haven't done what we're capable of doing yet, and that's on me. I got to do a better job as a quarterback, getting us into the right situations and the right plays, and that's something that I'm gonna put on myself, and I'm gonna get better at it. And we still have a lot of season left. That's the great part. Oregon State had a great game tonight, and we'll move forward. We're gonna be all right.
You know, it was just kind of frustrating coming off a bye week. We should have been a lot more on top of things, and we prepared for them for 2 weeks. And the things that the big plays that got on us, we had those. We worked on them so many times. I just don't know what happened. A lot of guys were just out of position, and I don't know if we were just kind of sluggish from the week off, or I don't know. But something needs to change.